Hi everyone, this is Chavigar. Welcome back to our tech podcast series. Today we have Snehangshu Datta with us. Welcome, sir, to our podcast. He is an amazing person with 13 plus years of experience. He is the Principal Software DevOps Engineer at Ericsson, and his journey and everything would be really amazing and interesting to hear today. So I welcome you, sir, in today's podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Chavi. So, thanks for giving me the opportunity to share my experience and knowledge to all of you. It has been a really good platform to share my experience, so to say.
That's actually amazing. I'm very much excited for this today's podcast. So, this is my favorite thing to know your Azure journey, how you got started. I know it's been years, but still, I wanted to understand that how you got started with it and how it felt to be in this.
So basically, even though my experience is quite long, so I have seen a lot of ups and downs in the IT industries, and my journey actually started from a telecom vertical, and from there I gradually moved to this cloud environment. So I started my cloud journey only 3.5 years back. So it did not started all of a sudden. It was a complete transition phase which happened. So what happened is that when we were using so all the applications and other things that we were having the on-premise data centers where we had the applications being hosted, and then but due to the reduction of the cost efficiency and other things, we had to means and then the cloud evolutions came in. We adapted to the cloud technologies, and then we had to analyze the things and make the proper planning of how the infrastructure should be in the cloud front and everything. So we started off with the cloud migration from on-premise to the on-premise data center to the cloud environment, and then gradually we evolved as the means cloud support engineer, and then from there to cloud architect, and then cloud lead. So that is how the journey has been with my Azure's front.
That's actually great to hear. Also, I saw that Ericsson about Ericsson. So would love to know like how Azure is helping Ericsson and how it is helping in upliftment of the company.
So for us, Azure is the go-to cloud provider because we have great enterprise support, so to say, and whatever service we require and the functionalities we require, we get those services from Azure itself instead of going or opting for any other third-party service. Even though the market is quite heavily loaded with various third-party plugins and other softwares, means, but we get most of the benefits from the Azure itself, be it key vault, be it storage, or whatever it is. So we have, and even the marketplace is a good place to be in for the Azure to see our custom applications, or maybe for the containerized world, we have certain ingress controllers or something which we can take care from the Azure itself. So Azure is helping us a great way.
That's actually amazing to hear because Azure is helping a lot of companies, and it's amazing to have you with us today. So, also wanted to ask you one more thing. It's been 13 plus years, and you have been working in the corporate life and world. So, what change you can share with us? Like, what all things and what and how technology have changed in this what we can say these 15 years, and how it felt like previously students used to have those books and now they have those tabs, so things have changed a lot. So would love to hear from you.
So basically, I mean, since we have become more tech savvy, so naturally the evolution has been from paper books to the online internet, Google and everything. So and YouTube. So basically, for us to have a cloud journey started or something, means now the primary focus or means we always refer to the Microsoft Learn page, even the YouTube videos, or even some tutorials from maybe, let's say, Google sites or Lab or whatever, means for any certification courses or means because they do follow a certain pattern, and if you follow a certification course, it covers most of the topics or most of the things which an enterprise can adapt to. So this is a change. Other than that, that as like the textbook, so it used to have the certain chapters, but we need to be concentrated enough to means go through it thoroughly. But if we have the video or something, we can directly means maybe fast forward it or pause it down and refer it back. So for me it is a mixed sort of learning, so to say.
That's true. Actually, this transformation is actually huge, and also, I actually saw one thing about you, that previously you were working as a senior solution integrator, and after a few years it got changed from this to principal senior DevOps engineer. So how things have changed, and like after 10 years or 9 years, how it felt to change the whole domain. How was your experience and the transformation?
So basically, initially it was more of an operation sort of roles which I used to do, maybe looking into the uh, availability of the applications or how the things running smoothly or something of that sort. And then then we had to adapt to the development ways of the working. And by development ways of working, we mean to say that means we need to collaborate more with the developers, see means if their code runs, and then we gradually adapted to the DevOps principles and DevOps roles. So we had a and then we integrated in the pipelines and automated the builds and deployments in the Azure environments. So it was quite challenging to adapt to the new ways of working, because for us it was, I mean, since we means we had learned the coding in the college, but in between we had lost somewhere else in last 10 years. So the coding part was a bit of challenge to again pick it up from scratch. And but that was really challenging and interesting, because if we are in the college we used to do coding, but if we got out of touch, so it takes time to again brush up those things. So that is a challenge which we faced. But it was
That's
really nice to copy it up, and all the integration we need to do, all the automated way. It is really interesting to have those things all automated way, instead of somebody doing it, click next finish and then do it.
That's actually true. I can totally feel it, because like changing domain, like students aren't able to change the domain even after a year. It is so difficult for them to have those memory of whole coding and everything. Like after a year, they are like everything is done. I don't know about anything, and like after 10 years, it's actually a lot. So it would be
Yeah,
so
it
difficult.
takes a lot of pain to get accustomed to those things, and means again brush it up. Sometimes your brain means you can feel a little bit of frustrated, but you should not means feel disheartened, because at the end of the day you have that basics cleared, right? You have done those before. Only thing you have forgotten in between because you have not used it yet. But means you can easily pick it up. So nothing to worry of that. You can means you can do it. You have done it, and you can do it later on as well.
That's true. That's true. I can understand that. And also, I would love to know that as you shared that how things have transformed in 10 years, or we can say 15 years, I would love to understand one more thing, that when you see a student asking doubts, and when you see a student getting started with a technology, how it feels like to be like, or we can say what change you see in the students right now.
So recently, means let me share my previous means experience. Just 2 days back, we had a Azure Dev Days in Kolkata, and most of the attendees were the students. So what I feel interested or means challenging is that the level of knowledge they have, or the updated means they are, means we were not there, so to say, because they were totally means updated on what the market is, what the technologies are currently working, how the cloud means. They have the basic knowledge. Even apart from the college curriculum, they have gathered this extracurricular knowledge itself. So they are quite smart enough to adapt to the new changes. And for them asking a silly question, and first of all, nothing is silly. So if it can be silly means, but he needs to clear it up, and there is no silly questions, everything has a fair answers. And always somebody needs to learn something from him. It can be from a 5 years old, means he can teach me something. So the perspective should be there that I am there to learn you, or maybe if he doesn't know, then I should let him know. Means there should not be anything, you should not get irritated, so to say. Even while talking to you, maybe I should learn that I should be telling you this way to make you understand.
Yeah, I can get it. I can get it. Yeah, and also like there is that one thing that always comes to everyone's mind before starting up a technology, that why should I go for it? So as you shared that it was difficult, so what was your thought process of changing the domain? Like what was that one thing that came to your mind? Like there was that one question in your mind, right? Why would I change my whole domain and everything? So what was your answer to yourself?
So if I go down my memory lane, so what happened was that I started my journey from landline switching. So it became outdated, obsolete, and means nobody cared about what landline is, or means it means the mobile came in and we totally forgot about the landline. So that was a lesson learned for me, that we should not work on any outdated technologies. And then gradually 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G has come in the market. And during the 3G period, I decided that okay, I had learned enough of my telecom domain, so I know how things are. Let me try and explore some new things. So from there, I started developing means interest in Linux, and then gradually to the cloud environment. So that was my area of interest. It's basically for me, I love exploring new things and new technologies. So that was the driving factor for me.
Actually, it was amazing to hear that as well. And um, like it was amazing to hear about your journey and about everything. But like when pandemic came, so what was your reaction to it? Like working with the in office thing for like 10 plus years, having everything offline, when everything got into this pandemic state and people started being more tech savvy, and you might have seen people facing layoffs, and there were a lot of things that got happened. So how was your reaction, and how was you what was your feelings that time?
So every coin has two sides, right? Both means good and bad. So for us, means since we are already family members, so we used to mean since when this work from home started, we can give a lot of time to our families, and that is a good thing, so to say. And on the other side, means in the corporate world, we had the friends or we had the colleagues through which we there was a good collaboration on top of it. And naturally there is one problem is that means out of mind is out of sight. Means out of sight is out of mind. So if you do not see the faces or we do not interact with it, so gradually the bonding becomes less. So that is the challenge which we are still facing, but we try to keep it in touch, maybe give them a call or maybe a virtual meetup in every Fridays or something of that sort to keep ourselves in touch. But yeah, means work from home is a good way, but it is not the only way to work for it. There should be a mixed or hybrid of culture of that, so that we can have a balance of all both the worlds.
That's actually true, and amazing to hear that, because it's actually true. Ultimately, there's like pros and cons of both the things, and it feels great when a person is like looking to the pros rather than the cons. So it was
Yeah.
great. And what I love to know that how a person should get started with DevOps, because um, as you shared, like you like recently got started with it. Okay, so would love to understand how was your DevOps journey? Did you just follow that particular roadmap that students usually follow these days, or like how you got started with it?
So basically, there was a project requirement that we have to implement DevOps practices or DevOps in a project, but we knew nothing of the DevOps at that time. So what we did is we take up the certification path of the DevOps, means Microsoft AZ400 certification path. We followed entire steps or whatever the topics that are being covered, and based on that we gathered some knowledges. And but those theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge, they are quite different, but they can give you a baseline of the things to be followed. So that was the baseline to start with. And then for the corporate things, we had our own special, means own use cases which we had to incorporate. So we had to do that, but the basic guideline was from the certification path itself from Microsoft Learns.
Yeah, that's true. So, if you will have to tell someone how they can get started, so what would you recommend, and how they can get started with Azure DevOps?
So I would definitely recommend first go through the learning modules or the Microsoft Learn site. So Microsoft has done an amazing or outstanding works in their documentation part. So first go through that, see the topics or see the contents being mentioned over there. There are labs or sandbox environment in which you can do and try out the things as well. So that is the first hands-on you should get, and then you can definitely follow maybe somebody's tutorials like Scott Udemy, I mean Scott's from Udemy, or Nins Rodriguez, or some tutorials for higher inputs. Means basically you need to understand what is your pattern of learning is. Maybe somebody wants to read from the PDF, somebody wants to listen to the videos. For me it is a mix of both the worlds. So I love reading as well as watching to the videos to clear up the contents and to see how things actually work in the demo environment. Means so it based on your learning abilities or how what is your style of learning, so you adopt that culture and you would follow it. That is my suggestion would be.
Yeah, that's actually an amazing suggestion. I really liked it personally. Before concluding, I would love to know one important thing from you, that in these years, would love to know your favorite Azure experience. I know it's quite tough, but would love to know your favorite Azure experience that you have in past.
So the current projects I am working, that is actually a initiative for the blockchain solutions to be incorporated for in our organization. So since Ericsson was a telecom giant, so they had never implemented blockchain solutions before. So what we have done, we have taken the hyperledger platform and built that hyperledger platform in AKS clusters, means Azure Kubernetes services, and deployed it in the Azure environment, Azure cloud. So when we deployed and onboarded the customers, so that was totally huge because this technology we had never worked on previously. And on top of it, it was highly appreciated, and we could showcase this solution to the World Mobile Congress, which happens in Barcelona every year. So this solution was a super hit solution, to so to say. So Azure helped us in, means whatever solution we wanted to build, and there was no downtime, so to say. And those things, Azure has helped us so that the solution becomes great. Means it has provided us a good robust platform, so to say, to build on the solutions. Maybe there will be more customers coming in, and we will scale in coming years.
That feels so good to hear that Azure is helping a lot, and you are also loving Azure at the same time, equally. So it actually feels immense to hear that. And thanks a lot for joining in. It was really amazing to have a podcast with you, and we will be surely be coming with an amazing such podcast super soon. Stay tuned.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. It was nice talking to you as well and sharing my experience. I would love to do that in the future. Yeah, as well.
I would be happy to host you again in some other session, surely.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for